Greetings everyone and welcome back to another video. We got some news to cover today. I'm a little bit behind. Got two pieces of news I'm going to cover in this video. The first is the new United Earth Defense Force vessel, and the other is the new event, the final event for Event Campaign 3, and so we're going to talk about both of those. We'll start here, and it is definitely a funky looking ship. I've always said that to me, now that I've gotten caught up and watched all of Star Trek Discovery, at least all of it that's available right now, that it feels like they really wanted to make Star Wars and not Star Trek, and I think that comes through in the ship designs as well as just the content. And so you get goofy looking nonsense like this. The Courage, I think, is kind of interesting in its own way, but this is just completely silly, and but I guess it doesn't really matter what it looks like too much. It's interesting. It kind of reminds me of the obelisk, you know, and not at all really. I mean, the obelisk is much different, much closer to Star Trek, but still different. But it was like it's Iconian technology, and so it's weird. So this kind of reminds me of that. Also, just the black and white, you know, color palette makes me kind of think that this could, if they said this was an Iconian ship instead of a 32nd century ship, that would be more believable to me. But it was on the TV show, so it must have gone by so quickly I didn't even notice it. I mean, you know, you get a few background shots, stuff here and there. Now they're going to make 50, you know, premium ships out of it. But the United Earth Defense Force vessel, which doesn't even make it clear what what kind of ship is it? Is it a cruiser? Is it, you know, what is it? So you got to come down here and check. It's a destroyer. You wouldn't know that by the name. Normally the name gives it away. They don't do that here. I'm not going to read the text here because we don't have time. I have too much to cover in this video, and I don't want to keep you all day. But it's a destroyer, so we got a hull modifier of 1.25, pretty good. I mean, it is a premium ship. You'd expect the stats to be high. Shield modifier 1.4, which is really good as well. And it is very shield-focused ship, as we'll find out soon. It has a 4-4 weapon layout, which in this day and age is not necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on what you're using it for. The only time having a 4-4 is bad, or the only time having 4 weapons in the front is bad, is if you're trying to do energy weapons, in my opinion, and specifically cannons or dual beam banks. If you're trying to do dual beam banks or cannons, then you really want the 5 weapons in the front. But if you're not doing that, it's not that big a deal. And actually, with kinetic stuff, having 4 in the back means you can get an extra mine in. And does it have command seating? Well, yes, it does. Bridge officer seating, 1 commander tactical command. So that's clearly our 1 commander seat. So let's see what else we have here. I'm sure we won't run into any others. That would be silly. 1 lieutenant commander engineering command. So 2 command seats, which I don't like. I don't like it when premium ships have 2 of the same specialization seat. I will bring that up every single time. I feel like one of the things that makes premium ships is their ability to have mixed specialization seating, but I digress. And it's engineering, but it's also command, so it's not that big of a deal because you could put, you know, if you wanted to pretend it was a lieutenant engineering, you just make that your concentrate firepower spot for that lieutenant commander. It doesn't have to all be on the same seat. 1 lieutenant science and 1 commander universal. Yeah, that's right. I think there's at least 2 other ships that have this. One of the adapted ships, I believe, and the Jem'Hadar light cruiser, I think, both have 2 command seats. Maybe there's more that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's pretty rare. It's extremely rare for a ship to have 2 commander seats. The other one is universal, so you can put whatever you want on it. And that does mean you're kind of limited. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You only get 4 seats. So that means you're down bridge officer, which means you're down bridge officer traits, and it's kind of awkward to fill a whole commander universal. You got a commander tactical command, so you're gonna, you know, maybe you use, you know, the 2 spots on there for your command stuff, whether it's suppression barrage or call emergency artillery, and then obviously concentrate firepower. So then maybe the other commander is your tactical, or maybe you switch your concentrate firepower over to engineering and use the commander as a science. So you could get a gravity well or something like that on there. But it's still kind of awkward, you know. It's especially since you already have a lieutenant science on there. So you're either going in for at least 5 science seats, or you're going in to the point that you have almost nothing for engineering and science. So it's a bit awkward in that way, but I mean, the novelty of it is certainly very high. And I think that, I'm reaching a point personally with the game where novelty is starting to be more important to me. It definitely doesn't look like a boring ship, just the visuals, whether you like it or not. I kind of think this particular one's silly looking. It has a novel design. The commander seating, 2 commander seats, that's pretty novel. So I already have a bunch of really good ships, so if it's awkward, but that's not why I would fly it. I would fly it for that unique novel experience. I'm definitely going to review it on Tribble, but I don't think I'm going to buy this. In fact, I'm positive I'm not going to buy it, so I'm not actually going to own it, but it'll be interesting anyway. It's not going to be a boring ship to review. Consoles, 5 tactical, 3 engineering, 3 science. That makes sense because it is a destroyer, so it's a tactically oriented ship. It has a turn rate of 8, which is not great, but not terrible. For a destroyer, it could probably be higher. To be honest, I can't remember what most destroyers are, but 8 just feels a little low to me. 10 power and 10 to shields, and then it has a trait and a console, of course, and the destroyer mastery package, which is the best in the game. Crit chance and crit severity and all damage, so yeah, pretty good stuff. Even the accuracy is pretty good. It's useful anyway. So we have a new console, Universal Mobile Defense Net. The shielding technology of the UEDF is second to none, and this console makes great use to establish blah, 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 blah. Basically, it creates this giant shield bubble thing around you, but it's not centered on you. You're towards the front of it so that the people behind you can get more of the benefit. It just has a bunch of shield-based boosts. Which is probably, if you're trying to do shield stuff, it's probably pretty strong. It's definitely a team-oriented thing. I don't know how popular this is going to be. Shield stuff is notoriously unpopular because all the parsing maps are Borg. I don't know if people are going to bother to do team content on non-Borg maps, but if you are doing team-based content on non-Borg maps, and that's a mouthful to say, like maybe Corfez or something, then, sure, maybe this would be something to try out. It certainly looks cool. They got the little GIF here. It looks like a really striking animation. Of course, it's a gamble ship, so they put some work in here. But no fault to the designers of the art team. They did an amazing job here. It looks gorgeous. You get a new trait, Proximity Alert. When this trait is slotted, activating any bridge officer abilities that restore shields to yourself or an ally will also briefly apply an effect that automatically redistributes their shields, provides shield hardness, and renders shields immune to drain effects. This effect may not be reapplied to a target until it is worn off, but it says to self or ally for 3 seconds. I think I saw the tooltip. It could be as much as 8 seconds. I might be mistaken on that, but the big point here is it's not going to be 100% uptime. And, if you could get immune to shield drains 100% uptime, then shields would be useful for Borg content. But since there's going to be gaps, and in those gaps your shields are still going to get drained, I feel like it's not going to be a solution to that particular problem. But if you want to do shield-based builds, then this is basically a whole toolkit for you. So if you like doing shield stuff, and there's no reason you shouldn't, then here you go. You got a whole ship just designed around shield stuff. There will be a review of that at some point. But let's go ahead and take a look at the other big news story here. I said let's take another look at the other big news story here. There we go. Didn't work the first time. Battle for Qo'nos. And this is part of the upcoming content release from November 16th to December 7th on PC. And then it says soon after on Xbox and PlayStation, but it doesn't give any dates. A new event, and it's part of Event Campaign 3, which is, if you haven't finished it yet, I know a lot of people have. I haven't finished it yet. I still need a few hundred points or whatever in order to finish mine. So if you still have to finish yours, now's the time to do it. And you'll get daily progress. And the prize for this event is the Console Universal Akar's Vengeance. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that as well. and the usual event stuff. There's a buyout. Once you're done, you get scaling dilithium every day for continuing to do it. Whatever. You get the idea. Console Universal, Akar's Vengeance, or Akar, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, is a master of electronic warfare, and this is nowhere more dangerous than in the hostile environment of space combat. Akar's Vengeance launches an electrical burst that flies to the target and immediately deals shield bypassing electrical damage to it and shuts down various non-shield systems one by one. Electrical damage over time ravages the enemy while their ship fails around them. This is a special event for our next content drop in the last event in Event Campaign 3. And is this going to be any good? No idea. No idea. Electrical damage is not the easiest thing in the world to boost. If it was radiation damage or something, you're more likely to already have boosts for that. But it's a combo of shutting off systems, but they only shut off non-shield systems. The most useful one to shut down is, of course, shields, so you can get more damage in. This feels more like a PvP-oriented thing. I think this would be better for PvP. It bypasses the other person's shields, content where shields are more important, and then it stops them. It stops their engines and everything, so they can't get away. And it shuts down their aux power, so they can't cloak. So I think this would be a really good PvP console. I don't know what the passives are. Does it say here? I didn't even see that it said that because we just read the whole thing. Is it going to be good for PvE? Probably not. But, you know, hey, you may as well finish the event anyway. It's a free console, account unlocked. And definitely, if you still need Event Campaign 3 progress, you should definitely do it. And let's see at the top here if it says which ones you can do. So you can do 3 TFOs, the choice of 3 TFOs. Remain Klingon, To Hell with Honor, Best Served Cold. I'm probably going to be doing To Hell with Honor because it's a fun one. And yeah, so you'll have a choice of content to do. And that's it. That's the news. And we're all caught up now. So thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.